Welcome back for another episode of the 101 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches. Today we are working on a layout from page 100 in the book, and it is a 2-page layout that has 7 photos. So it was in the 6+ photo section. It's got 7 photos, but I actually had more photos than that I needed to try to get on a page. So what I've got kind of laid out over here, none of it is tacked down or anything like that, is we're using, this is a hockey season photo, and we've got about 4 photos on the first page. I'll slide that over. And then I've got 8 photos on the second page. And basically what I did is I took this whole section right here that had embellishments and some decorative elements on it. I turned that into photos for smaller photos that I figured I could take some snippets of the season and put them on there and fill it up. Overall, this page came together pretty quickly. I had 2 blue circle pages here, about an inch in 1 inch by 12, and then the next section was 4 3/4 by 12 for the blue circle paper. I did use some hockey background sheet ice paper from Creative Memories as well. I think the other side had a basketball court on it, so it was from one of their sports collections that they came out with or late last year. They came out in 2023, and I kind of stocked up just because I had kids who played sports, and stocked up on those collections that I thought I could use. And then the middle part here is some hockey paper from another company that I had purchased some different random hockey papers from. And then I've got this black and white check, this 1/4 inch by 12 inch strip. I've got 4 of those throughout the page. And so that came together pretty well. The blue circles is from the Totally Tonal Blues. And then I'm using some elements or some stickers from the Totally Tonal Red. Again, the team is blue, red, and white. So I thought that would be, those Totally Tonals are always a good option when you're trying to do, say, like family reunions, sports teams, and any other events and things like that. So this one will come together pretty quick, and so I'm going to start working on that. And one of the other things that I would like to just kind of share about it as well is a lot of these, this is one of the season pages. There's probably another 2-page layout plus some photos. So I try to take as many pictures as I can throughout the season, and then I always have to try to whittle it down to the important photos that make it into the albums. And you'll see one of the things that I have done on here is I do pre-plan a lot of my pages. I will print my photos off first, and then I will kind of divide them up to events that make sense. And then I kind of sketch it out. I'll go through the books or find some other layouts. I've got a couple of other places that I will look for layouts from time to time. And I will sketch it out. And in this case, because there were so many different photos in here, I do label the backs of them with a marking pencil so that I know where they go and they get placed on the page. And this has helped kind of speed up and help me get kind of caught up on a lot of my scrapbooking that I had been doing. Like, I can sit in front of a TV and kind of sketch these out, and then another night go ahead and sit down and try to find the papers that go with the photos. And then you've got options once you find once you find the papers to go with it. Sometimes you can just throw the sheets of paper in there. Other times it's sometimes a little bit more advantageous to go ahead and start trimming, cutting, laying everything out like this, and then either bundling it all up so that you can take it with you while you're on a trip or things like that. Like especially during COVID, what ended up happening is the kids would end up at sports, but parents were never allowed in any of the rinks, arenas, whatever, for any number of times, days, and whatnot. So I ended up catching up on a lot of my scrapbooking because I was like, what am I gonna do? I am down there for a weekend. I don't have anything to do. There's nothing. It's a town that doesn't have a lot of stuff happening. So I tried to pre-plan as many pages as I could and took them all with me, and then I would assemble them and I would cut them down so that they literally looked like this. And then I would have my little cheat sheet with me, and then I would sit in the hotel room either while they were playing or sometimes the kids will kind of run around at nighttime, and I would work on some of that stuff at that time. So one way that I got caught up, granted it's not COVID anymore, so that's always a positive, but you can always look for some ways where you can try to squeeze in bits and pieces of scrapbooking as you have some free moments in a day. Try to put down the phone and stop scrolling, if you will. So this layout, it does both sides. I did do 12 inches across. So I am going to be covering up a good chunk of it, but if you really wanted to save some paper, you could cut that off too. And this little piece, I could try to use that. I think that would take more time than just trying to run this down it. I'm actually just kind of butting everything up against each other. So paper to paper here. And then I'll finish this page and then move on to that one. The other thing that I did do is to try to make the photos stand out a little bit more. I did mat 2 photos, one from each side. So it was the team photos over here and then the group of 4 girls over here. I'd say towards the end of the season, the girls had played in a fun event at one of their practices where they all had to dress up like a 3 or a foursome, however many girls were in their group. And then this set of kids was the Golden Girls, is who they selected to be. And then they had to skate and compete as the Golden Girls throughout the little tournament that they did at practice. And you know how I like to raise things up. So here I go with my foam tape. And I will put that up there. This will be my title. And then I've got journaling that'll go over here. All right, and so that is a quick look there. I will probably put a black mat over here for the journaling on this side, and then kind of do a recap of the season. All right, and I'm actually going to leave this here, and the reason for that is to try to make sure that I can line up this to go across. And the other thing I need to do is snip that. put that down. And I'm gonna start by placing this longer piece down. And you can see I numbered the backs of these as well. Now I'm going to try and place the top and the bottom ones and then fill in with these other two. I'm really just trying to get a nice solid border, visual border that around the top and bottom photos. And then these will be a lot closer together. And I guess I would say I stayed pretty true to size for the photos that were on the sketch. The ones that I deviated were the ones that I added. So this side I had to just make sure that I had enough room for what I wanted to do. And then I've got these two that I'll put in the middle here. And then I was going to add the Friends for Life up at the top. And of course, I am going to raise that up. I could go either side, but I think I'm going to put it across the top of this photo. And then I've got a sticker that says, "These are the days." I'm going to put that down towards the bottom. This is a photo that I kind of pieced together with my printer software. 4 separate photos of the team scoring a goal, and it was probably their most excitement because they jumped up and down on the ice and then fell, and then there was a pile of them on the ground. It's like, oh no, girls, don't get hurt. All right, and there's that. And like I said, this one was a pretty simple layout as far as not a lot of embellishments, but there are more photos on this page than anything else. So I really just wanted to make sure that that stood out. So again, just have some journaling left to do here, and then this one's good. So this was page 100 of the 101 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches book, and of a different way to kind of a different take on it to see how you can modify some of the sketches and make them be something that you need them to be to fit your photos. So join me next time.